very fast.
A very fast second question, and can you tell us your how do you compare the difference between black and white film and the color films? Because I can see you have a lot of theories about the color, how to use the colors. So how do you compare black and white? What do you feel the features of the black and white film? So do you want to use it? Or? Thank you.
Well, my first film was in black and white, Giovinezza, Giovinezza. It was perfect for me because that was 1968. Because at that time I didn't have any culture in color. But the way that I was using light was really develop some kind of research between the different shade of light, penumbra, and black and black. When I moved in color, I started to Spider Stratagem with Bernardo Bertolucci. I was lucky that was the film, the beginning in color. Because I didn't have a classic education. I didn't study painting in university. I did major school was mainly technical school. So my contact with color was when I met the painting in Parma, near the region when we filmed the Spider Stratagem, with the primitive painters, like Covilli or like Ligabue. They were peasants. They were painting during the winter time or during when they were not working on the field. That gave me an incredible education, the primitive painters, the naive, because they using their own emotion, not knowledge. And the color were very, very primary, very strong. And sometimes the combination between them was like that or even in harmony sometimes, because they were very innocent. That was the beginning of my knowledge in color. And after I continued to meet, the book that tomorrow I will introduce to you is the story of my development between cinematography and color. Is the meeting of different kinds of painting style, the one that I really met personally, movie by movie, that I met those primitive people. In Russia, I met the people that they do in Palek, a little town. They using very, very little brushes. And they painting something beautiful in boxes, as far large like that. In miniature, they describe the ancient history of Igor in such a magnificent way that you cannot believe. And after I met doing the story of Roma, the people that was working in mosaic. And after I'm working in Africa, I saw the painter Voyageur. In the 19th century was English, French, Italian. They went around in the Eastern and they fall in love with the Arabian philosophy, and they made very fantastic painting. So I met so many different styles. They are not usually in museum. They are not recognized like Raffaello, Michelangelo, Leonardo. But that was my education, movie by movie, moving all around the world. I met the different, when I came in China, I discovered some painting that was painted in marble of 17th century. And they have some kind of color saturated in different material, in ceramic or in marble. Or I discovered in Yugoslavia, painters, they are painting on glass. from the back. So when they put red, color red on oil, on glass, stay there so strong you cannot believe, because on canvas it's getting absorbed, the color. Here is pure. And after they have to wait, the first painting is going to be dry before they painting the second layer or the third layer. They spend 1 year to do just one painting like that. And there are fantastic emotion they can give you in color. Look at the primitive painter in Yugoslavia, in Croatia. People like Mio Kovacic, Ivan Generalic, Vecenai, Steven. You will be amazed at that was my experience, personal experience. The book I will present tomorrow, I start with Caravaggio, the first emotion, and the emotion that I had in my. But after I describe my cinematography, I was changed step by step, and I was meeting physically those people and those different technology. So every experience, if you are open-minded, can help in you. Because people, they are making classic studies, says, oh, primitive painters are shit. I want to see Vuillard. Oh, I need to see Magritte, which is great, fantastic. But no, sometimes they are coming from this. Van Gogh is one of the most primitive painter. At the same time, he's the most expressionist. If you look at the Bruegel or Bosch, what they were primitive. So look at the, let's say, the creativity of those people. Doesn't matter if they did the academy or they came just from a little village in some place all around the world, you know. Anyhow, let me tell you something about reds. Before we were talking about video. The first meeting that I had in white after the scene, so I can see my performance. And I said, well, it's up to you. If it's your tool. I mean, I don't need. I used to know what I'm doing. I used to see my light. I used to see blah, blah. And I see the image later on, blah, blah. He said, no, I need to have it. Okay, put it. And in my opinion, at that time, nobody was using, only Jerry Lewis, I heard that was using video, more or less at the same time, because he needs to see his own performance. And Warren Beatty started right away. But the first day we have the scene, and I was doing blah, 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 all my stuff, and suddenly he called me and says, Vittorio, please, can you come to see the video? I say, Warren, I don't need it. I want to see it later. I want to have the emotion to see the image on the first time in color on the big screen. And he said, yes, ma come over here. And suddenly I see in the black and white monitor, it was a very bad flickering. The playback of the scene. And I never noticed, oh my God, but this is something, there's a lot of information. I can see that the frame is not correct. Maybe the camera operator was not perfectly in balance. I see that maybe the movement was too fast. I see that the assistant director doesn't give the right cue to the person coming. And I say, Warren, I mean, that's good. I mean, can we change? Oh, now you like the video. I start to love it. I start to use it. My camera operator has almost a breakdown. Because he said before he was the only one looking through the camera to see the scene. And everybody was asking to him, is good or is bad? And he could say, it's good, okay, printed. Oh no, we have to do another take. Now, the director can see it. The editor was next to him can see it. He can say good or bad. He lost the power. And I said to my camera operator, don't be silly. Yes, of course, now everybody can see the image. But you have the knowledge how you correct it. So you should go to the director. Don't have him calling you and tell him, sorry, Warren, the shot doesn't work for this and this and this reason. And I need to have the camera more back, I need to change lens, I need to have the dolly more slow, or whatever. So you have the control of the images. Step by step, we learned how to use it. When I arrived to do The Last Emperor, and I proposed to Bernardo to have this system on the camera, he said to me, Vittorio, I don't need it. I said, Bernardo, I need, because I need to see the light, to control the lights, because I have everything on the light board. Since One from the Art, 1980, I started to use a light board wherever I was going, so I have to change the light according to the camera movement and so on. So I need to have the video, so don't worry. So I remember there was one Saturday that we were supposed to do only rehearsal. The film was supposed to start filming here in Beijing the following Monday. One way to another, you know, it was afternoon, it was a beautiful sun coming down, and I said, Bernardo, it's only a day before, it's only a rehearsal, but why we don't filming? Because it's a beautiful light. He said, well, if you're ready, we can do. Yes, if you're happy about the rehearsal, let's film. We filmed. He said, well, that's okay, let's do another one. Bernardo, I think there is something problem over there when the leading character is coming forward. Maybe, I said, Vittorio, but I didn't know this. Bernardo, can you come over here? And I put him in front of the monitor. I said, Marco, can you play back the scene? He said, what do you mean? Bernardo, you can see the scene we just filmed. Really? Yes. Ah, fantastic. You're right. This is wrong. Okay, call the assistant director. You said this one should come maybe a second later. Okay, can I stay over here to see the monitor? Of course you can stay. That's the story of Warren Beatty starting the video system. But once again, please be as aware as possible, be knowledgeable as possible, so you always are in control with technology. Don't let the technology take your brain. Use your brain to use the technology. That's the point. Second thing, when you have a story, the story of Reds is the story of a journalist, very intelligent journalist in the United States, the beginning of the century. He was involved for a short time of his life in revolution in Mexico with Pancho Villa, and after became a very important journalist after this experience. And when he felt in Russia, 1917, the start of the revolution of Russia, he felt that journalism has to be in that specific place. There is a lot of romance between him and a young lady, but the main concept is the fact that he wants to be where the actions really happen. And he went to Russia, was the only journalist in Russia during the Russian Revolution. He witnessed practically all the takeover of the Bolshevik against the Menshevik in St. Petersburg. And he was sending all the writing on the newspaper in New York and in America. He became step by step an important politician as well, because he's learned a new concept of politics compared to the United States while he was in Russia. At the end of the story, he became the only American person that can go back in Russia when Lenin called for the kind of major meeting in a different country for different personality, let's say, of the Communist Party. When he died, because he was sick on his own liver, is the only foreign person that is buried into the Kremlin. That's basically the story. It was huge canvas, so on. But when unless that you have some specific element to play the story with specific color and making different emotion, that doesn't correspond at the period. It doesn't correspond to the kind of, let's say, visual style that is being used at the kind of period. You really cannot play too much with the artificial element, let's say. So you have to play with the natural element. Wherever is the natural light, the chance we have is using from aurora, dawn, morning, day, afternoon, sunset, dusk. So we can choose into this kind of palette, or we can choose the original element of the artificial light, like fire, like candle, like oil lamp, or whatever. So my idea at the time was, well, I would love to almost, for example, Warren said to me, I would like to record memory of some witness. They were lived at the beginning of the century, is still alive. They maybe are 85, 90, 95 years old. And they knew John Reed. So I want to record some of their memory. And I would like to put in contrast different memory of those characters. So once we meet this character that I'm going to play, we know that they have different each one of us doesn't have just one surface images, but he has a different polyedric image around himself, different character, let's say, different experience in your life, so on. So I would like to confront what we are going to tell historically about this character, but also would like to have maybe like a different person remember different action of the same character in different moments, creating the polyedric figure of these people. So we went around all United States with just one camera, and I said to Warren, I would love to, that we are filming not in their normal houses, which is distracting. In my opinion, they should be coming from almost from memory, from past. So against something that is totally blank. So against the black background. Also because we can also play this image that can come in over imposition at the image that they are narrating. Because I was thinking on the way that I was using double impression. Well, I said, okay, that can be interesting, so on. So my idea was having the visual structure of this picture like it was a plant. The roots were the witness people. They was coming from past, and it was totally almost black and white, from matter. And step by step, they growing up in John Reed's mind and the way they was writing the different story that he witnessed. That is part of his own philosophy, his own way of using the style in writing. And like a trunk, he's very solid. He was able to fight against everybody, but to keep his own mind, his own thought in a very strong way. Several editors, you will see the movie, tried to push him to be more open with the audience in the way they was writing, not be so specific. And he always say, no, nobody can touch my writing in different moments in his life. He was very firm. So I said it should be kind of monograph, almost his color has to be like very solid, almost in one single tone from that time. But I love to have almost, when he opened his mind, like a tree open its branches and leaves, which is with the sentiment. So every time he has a sentimental moment with his wife, with his, the lady that he's going to meet and later become his wife, maybe we should have the light is vibrating more according to the basic structure in every possible color tonality. they are going to reflect the different sentiment. That was my idea. But one way to another, I know that later it was almost impossible to push too much. Also because at the same time, soon after I did One from the Art. One from the Art was based on totally fantasy in Las Vegas, with all the neon, the color neon, so I can use very strongly different color tonality according to the different emotion of the character. Here I have to use more subtlety tonality, let's say, like more in penumbra, more the more subtle could be the transfer between one emotion to another, the better will be. But at the same time, I felt that I need to have some very strong base. The base for us is the black. And at that time, in 1980, Technicolor system, the Invivision system, was not in use any longer. It stopped around 1974-75. The last movie that was done in the United States was The Godfather. In Italy was 1900. I know that they transfer, I don't remember if the Italian Technicolor system was transferred in China and the America went to Russia or vice versa, I don't remember. But practically I know that Russia and China used the Technicolor transfer system for many years after the Europe and America was doing it. The Technicolor system has a very strong black and very strong saturated color. It's something that, according to the question that you done before, is something that nothing else that we can do. We moved it from the Technicolor, there's its own look, to Eastman color. There's another look. There was much more thin, is the difference that today you can see from chemical and digital. At that time, we saw between Technicolor and Eastman. So I felt that we need something, and the technician in Technicolor, Ernesto Novelli, was the color supervisor, said to me, Vittorio, check out this test that I did, because I know what you're looking at. Maybe this can help you. And he came out with some tests they showed me, and it was very impressive, like practically he was using the three primary color that are into the Eastman color films, plus black, which was the original first system in Technicolor system, 1930. Practically it was redevelop the sound black images, because in the color system in chemistry, everything starts with the black silver to be sensitized. They're going to have the sensibility around the three primary color. But after there is a buff, they remove the black. You have only the combination of the three color, then you see the color image. It was redeveloping before fixing the black images in different percentage. So practically you will have in an image formed by red, green, blue, black, in different percentage. That's called ENR. E. Ernesto and Novelli, R. Raymond, the two people that invented this system. I love this system because I have a very strong black, plus I can see that every single color was a little bit desaturated from the black silvers, and was putting an image more back in time, which seems to me more pictorial. It seems to be more thickness. The image was not just in one layer. I love it, and I went to London to different tests in different levels, let's say 10%, 20%, 30% of this system. And I say, Warren, look at these images. And we watched it, And we found that the middle one, like usually, was the perfect balance between color and black and white. Having the image of reds, there was, with that kind of feeling on time, there was helping him as an actor to play a part that was originated several years before, in 1920, so 60 years before. We decided that that was the look of the film, so we were shooting in London, but we were sending the negative back to Rome to develop, to print with this system, and receiving the dailies back in London, and we were watching the dailies over there. And at the end, I convinced Paramount, because Paramount was thinking at the time, yes, okay, it's nice, it's beautiful, but okay, we will do 50 prints with this system, and after we do the entire 2,000 print all around the world in a normal stock, a normal print, and we do that in Los Angeles. And I said, well, Warren, you can do everything you want because you are the producer, but not with my name. You remove my name from the film, from any print that is not done with the ENR, and you are the owner of the film. Well, Vittorio, that's not possible. You promised to me that I will be the one that take the final decision. Yes, you can do anything you want, not with my name. Paramount came in Rome, and we print all the print all around the world with the ENR. From that moment on, Technicolor Los Angeles and London understood that that system was not just something nice, but for one movie. Because from that moment, I used this system for every movie that I did since then, and many, many other cinematographers want to use the same system. So they send the technician from Los Angeles and New York, London, in Rome to learn about the system which belonged to Technicolor. So after they can use it in different places. That became my imprint. I cannot do any movie without this system because I need. In fact, Kodak later invent a film called Premiere. Still today you can have it. They put more silver into this new film, cost more money, to almost be similar to ENR system. Because I mentioned to every Kodak technician, I say, your film is not enough for me. I need to add something else. So that's what they did with the film called Premiere, try to simulate the system ENR. Now, I know that today you screen a print, not a DCP. Is that true?
I believe it's a Blu-ray, actually. This one
Oh.
I've been told.
I'm sorry, because that was an experience for you to see this movie in the original print. I'm sorry that you see just the electronic. Are you sure?
There was the original plan, but
Yeah, can you double check for me to check with the projection?
I don't think
Someone?
they have a film projector here.
Yeah.
They don't have a film projector.
Oh, they don't have the projector.
Right, I think so.
I'm sorry, but that was wrong. But what was my major experience with Warren Beatty? That was my first film done with a director that was also an actor. What that means? Because we are co-authors, production designer, costume designer, cinematographer, musician. We are the director. Usually we are watching the scene from outside. And we're taking decision how we can play the scene according to our feeling. But Warren was also the actor. And Warren was used to see the scene from inside the scene, from the character point of view. And at the beginning, I was completely confused because I was used my habit and my knowledge to propose style, a proposed idea that was from another point of view. And him was always from the interpreter point of view. And at the beginning we had a very difficult moment till I understood, they says, oh, well, wait a minute. I'm being educated in one way. But let me check, let me see, let me find out if I maybe can learn even more if I start to look from his point of view. And from that moment on, I put more in balance myself in reading a scene, starting from reading the script, not only from an exterior point of view, but also from the interior point of view. And this gave me an incredible more balance. From that movie on, my way to reading the script is completely different. Without any doubt, I'm more able to understand better the character with that kind of lesson. And I can see that when I do a movie now with the director, without having the arrogance to change the director's mind, but I can have the chance to propose any different idea that is up to him to take the final decision, even about the story. And from that moment on, this is an additional element I give it to you gentlemen. The director feels that he has a collaborator near him. Somebody that doesn't really think, oh, you just care to do a beautiful image, that's it. You don't care about the movie. You care only to have something beautiful sunset, as you suggested before. It doesn't mean anything, but I have to think in the way the movie have to relate to an emotion, to give to an audience something to receive in a complete way. No, now you can be a visual collaborator, but at the same time, a collaborator more open. They can even sometimes suggest something that can be very useful from the director point of view, with all the respect, the fact that only the director can take final decision. If you understand that kind of point of view from you, that you are not trying to invade another field, or you are trying to not respect his work, but you try to help or give any possible chance for a second point of view, it would be a great collaboration between director and cinematographer. It's something very delicate that you have to be very, very, not many directors love to receive advice or receive suggestion or receive consideration. I met some people that I tried to be in collaboration and they refused. I respected, I stay on my field, that's it. But I never work with that director again in the second movie, because that means that he is blind. But with when you respect the person and the artist, and try to be his collaborator, he can feel that you are honest, you are trying not to be arrogant with him, and you are trying to also help in that direction, because the direction is his decision, no doubt. Cinematography and the writing with light is my decision, but there are many other decisions that belong only to him. When you are clear with this kind of respect between collaboration, can be a wonderful feeling between the main author of the film and the co-author as a cinematographer. Remember that. Okay?
Thank you very much. Very good
You're
speech. OK， 我们现在放45分钟的午饭的时间，然后看了2点15分回来，我们就放映那个电影了。
So at what time is the round table? At 6?
According to schedule is 5:30.
They told me 6 o'clock.